It's 10:47 in the morning. You're in a meeting. Your phone is face down on the table and it just buzzed. You don't look at it. Somewhere out there, a trader you've never met just bought 150 Tesla call contracts. About half a second later, your account did a smaller version of the same thing. Nobody at that table has any idea. Neither do you. Not until lunch. Now, this is not free money, and I will show you exactly where it goes wrong. But the setup behind it is simple. It's also, and I mean this as a compliment, incredibly boring. Trading around a job usually looks nothing like that. Your day is not built for it. There is a manager who notices when you're on your phone, and maybe 9 minutes of real privacy in the whole thing. So you squeeze it in. Charts before work, charts at lunch, charts in the parking lot. And somewhere in there, you join a Discord. The Discord is supposed to solve this. A trader posts a signal. You copy it. Easy. Except the signal doesn't wait for you. It drops at 9:52 while you're on a call. You see it at 10:15. By then, the contract is up 40 cents, and now you've got a decision to make. Chase it or skip it. If you chase it, you paid more than the person who posted it. Your trade and their trade now have the same name and completely different math. If you skip it, you get to watch it run without you. That one stings more because you were right, you just were not there. We all know this happens on the way out too. They close, you're stuck at your desk. You get out 11 minutes later, into a worse price. That gap between knowing and doing is where a lot of part-time traders quietly bleed. Nobody screenshots it. There's nothing to screenshot. It's a slow leak in a boat that otherwise floats fine. So how do you close a gap when you physically can't be at your desk? If you are expecting some RSI setting, some pattern on the 4-hour chart that the banks don't want you to know about, sorry, I don't have one. What I've got is 5 steps, and none of them are fun. Pick a trader whose record you can actually verify. Study how that trader trades, losses included. Decide your own position size and risk limits before you follow anybody. Hand the execution step to software. Check the results on a schedule and stay willing to shut it off. That is the whole strategy. That's it. It's boring by design. Every step exists to remove a decision you'd otherwise make while rushed, emotional, or hiding your phone behind a laptop lid. Let's walk through them, because each step has a specific way people ruin it. Step 1. The record has to be real. Picking who to follow decides everything downstream. Most people spend about 4 minutes on it. There is a big problem in this, because anyone can post a winning screenshot. Screenshots are the easiest thing in the world to crop, edit, or cherry pick. A trader can take 20 trades, lose on 14, post the 6 winners, and technically never lie to you. That is not fraud, that's just marketing. So the only track record worth your time is one pulled straight out of a real brokerage account. Every fill, wins and losses together, no editing possible. That's the idea behind tools like Alertsify. It connects to real broker accounts and pulls the actual fills, then puts traders on a public leaderboard with those verified numbers attached to their name. You can browse that leaderboard for free, and that's honestly the smartest way to spend your first hour with any of this. When you do, don't go straight to the biggest number. Look at the losses first. Look at how many trades the record covers. 900 trades tells you something real. 11 trades tells you almost nothing, except that somebody got lucky recently. Then look at style. Does this person scalp in the first 90 minutes and get out? Do they hold positions for days? Because that decides whether their approach even fits the life you actually have. And once you've picked someone, you hit the step almost everybody skips. Step 2. Write your rules while you're calm. Following a trader does not mean becoming a photocopy of that trader. They might be running a $200,000 account. You might be running $3,000. So before anything connects to anything, you decide the numbers. How much of your account is allowed into one position? What your maximum loss in a single day looks like? Which tickers you'll allow and which ones you won't? And whether you want orders to fire on their own or whether you'd rather approve each one with a single tap. Decent software lets you set this separately for each trader you follow. Alertsify has position limits, daily loss limits, and a slippage guard that kills the order if the price runs away before you get filled. Write these numbers down on a calm Tuesday afternoon. Nobody in history has chosen a sensible position size on a red day. Step 3. Hand over the part that wastes your time. Your chosen trader opens a position. The software sees the fill and places the matching order in your account, sized by your rules, not theirs. No searching for the ticker, no typing a quantity with your thumb under a conference table. Alertsify says that whole sequence lands at your broker in under a second. Doing it by hand takes around 30 seconds if nothing goes wrong, and something always goes wrong. That's the entire promise here, and it's a small one. The software is not smart. It doesn't know whether the trade is any good, and it isn't trying to find out. All it does is delete the delay between a decision and an order. This may sound underwhelming right up until you remember the delay was taxing every single trade you made last year. But if orders are firing while you're on the clock, who exactly is watching this thing? You are, just not minute by minute. This step separates people who run this well from people who wake up to a very bad surprise. You still review. Pull up the P&L, see which trader actually moved your account up and which one has been quietly costing you money for 6 weeks while you weren't paying attention. Then hold all of it against what you expected on day 1, and you keep your hand on the switch. If a trader goes cold or starts taking positions you never signed up for, you pause that one trader without touching the rest of your setup. If the whole thing feels wrong, you shut it all off. Stopping has to stay easy. When stopping is hard, people wait too long. That's just how humans work. So treat this like a job with about 2 hours a week attached to it. Not 0 hours, just 2. And before you go anywhere near any of this, I need to be extremely clear about something. You can follow a profitable trader and still end the year down. Both of those things can be true. Here's how that happens. You picked off one big number. Somebody posted a monster win. You followed them that week, and that week turned out to be their outlier. You used too much size. 3 green days showed up. You got confident. You doubled your position. Then a completely normal losing streak arrived, and normal losing streaks last a lot longer than people imagine. You stopped looking. Automation makes it very easy to not look. Not looking is how one bad week becomes one bad quarter. You read the win rate and nothing else. Win rate tells you how often somebody is right. It tells you nothing about how much they lose when they're wrong. And yes, the big one. People start treating software like a paycheck. Nothing here pays you. Orders get placed faster, and orders lose money all the time. Options can lose money fast. You can lose everything you put into a contract, and you can do it in an afternoon. None of that changes because a computer placed the order instead of your thumb. So here's the boring version of trading, start to finish. Pick carefully, size small, automate the click, review on a schedule, stay willing to stop. That's it, guys. It won't get you a Discord full of fire emojis. It doesn't make a good story at dinner. What it does is hand you back your Tuesday, which was the actual goal the whole time. If you want to know whether this approach even makes sense for your situation, we built a free fit check. It's a few questions about your account size, your schedule, and how you handle a losing week. It's linked below this video. It takes about 2 minutes, and it's going to tell a good number of you that this isn't a fit, which is exactly what it's for. Either way, go pull up a broker-verified leaderboard before you follow another signal. Even if you never automate a single trade, seeing what real numbers look like will permanently change how you read every screenshot somebody sends you. That's the boring strategy. See you in the next one.